Good morning, Mrs. Evers. How are you today?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. Hey, thank you so much for coming in. I got your email regarding your student, Matt. So we will definitely talk a little bit about him today. Before we start, I just want to let you know about the confidentiality. Anything you tell me will stay in this room. It'll be confidential unless it involves harm of anyone in any way. So basically for today, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to ask you a bunch of questions about Matt. And in order to get to the bottom of it and to help him the best way that we can, I just ask that you be as specific as possible when we talk about him. So why don't you just go ahead and tell me about Matt and how he's doing right now?
Okay. Matt is in my math class, and I just noticed, like, since the beginning of school, I don't really know him that well, but he just isn't doing much at all. And the other day I was talking to him, and about his grades, and he said he just doesn't like school. And I tried to ask more about it, and he wouldn't respond to me, and his grades are very poor, and he is definitely failing my class. He has about a 52%, and he doesn't really show any effort in class, and he doesn't do his homework.
Okay, so it sounds like you've got a lot on your plate. He's failing with a 52%,
Yeah.
and sounds like he's not very motivated. Would you say that's accurate?
Yes.
Okay.
Agreed.
Okay. So by not doing much, does he participate in class even, or is he shut down, or what is his behavior like in class?
He, like, sometimes he'll participate, but it's when you call on him. And
Okay.
sometimes when you do call on him, he just doesn't answer. He looks very disinterested, and he definitely does not volunteer giving an answer. But it's just an just negative, I want to be left alone attitude.
Negative and wants to be left alone.
Yeah.
Okay. How can you compare him to his peers? How are they doing in your class?
I really tend to like the bell curve, and I think that he's on the very far end of that
Okay.
bell curve. So there are a few kids that have A's, a few kids that have B's, a few kids that are D's. He's the only one that's failing, and I have a few kids in C's, so the majority are there.
Okay. So as far as the grades, you have a few A's, a few B's,
Yep.
with the bell curve. What about participation? Do you think? How would you compare his participation to his peers? How do his peers participate in class?
Well, there's a couple ways. If I feel like the students aren't participating that day, I have their names and I draw them out randomly.
Okay.
And then, but if I'm getting a lot of participation, I don't use that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my go-to.
Okay.
method.
So do you think he's significantly participating less than his peers?
Yes.
Is that
And I know that not all kids do great on tests, so participation is kind of a large part of their grade.
okay?
I'd say it's about a quarter of their grade.
Okay.
So he is definitely failing, and that's probably an easy way to bring up his grade is participation.
Okay. Do you know any factors maybe that can contribute to his lack of participation and lack of motivation?
I don't know if it's an issue at home, because I don't know the kid that well, so I don't have any like baseline for it. So I don't know if it's like it's changed from year to year, but yeah. So I just don't know.
Okay. All right. No, that's all
Sorry.
right. I know the year just started and
Yeah.
it's the first quarter and it's just wrapping up. But right now we don't know any antecedents for the behavior. We're not really sure what's causing the lack of motivation. Do you think that could be the cause for his grades, or do you think there maybe is an academic issue? Or I'm just curious to hear your thoughts.
When he does participate, when I call on him, and he actually participates when I call him, he shows some knowledge,
Okay.
like basic math facts, but he does rely on the calculator more, I think, than my other students, so there might be some type of issue, and
Okay. So you let him use the calculator then? Is that
I do in class, but not on test.
okay? And then, what is his test average? Just curious.
I would say it's about 60%.
60%.
Yeah.
Okay.
His participation definitely brings down his
Interesting.
grade.
Interesting. So it's his participation is pretty much
lowest.
bringing down.
Yes,
Okay.
I'd say so as
No,
well.
that's great to know. Thank you. So, I really appreciate you answering those questions. So just to kind of sum it up, Matthew is in your 6th grade math class.
Yes.
He is significantly lower academically compared to his peers. He is failing the class. He's the only student failing. He's failing with a 52%. And it's really the participation that's dragging him down. You allow him to use a calculator for homework, not on the tests, but he is averaging a 60% on his tests.
Yes.
Okay, all right, sounds good. What is your expectation for your whole class when it comes to participation? I mean, I know you talked about your stick method. How do you grade participation?
It's a good question. It's definitely subjective because
Yeah, no, it's-
it depends on the day. Like if the
Okay.
whole class is participating, everybody gets points.
Okay.
If I have to pull out the stick and have everybody's
Mhm.
name on it, then those kids get participation points because every time there's an opportunity, and when nobody does it, then I pick out the kid.
Okay, that makes
make
sense.
sense?
That makes sense. Yeah, thank you. So moving forward, he's not participating. He's not doing what he's supposed to be doing in class. But moving forward, where would we like to see him be?
Well, I would like his general behavior to be a little bit happier. Seems a little on the depressed side, but I also think that I would like his grade to be at least passing.
Okay, get his grade up to passing.
Yes.
What about as far as participation? Do you want to track that in a way?
I would like to track it better. Yes, that's why when you asked me that, I was
Okay.
like, oh, it is really subjective. But maybe since it's starting of a new quarter, I can kind of change things around.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that's a very good idea. So to really sum that up, we would like to get his grade up to passing. We want him to at least have a D, and maybe we can work with participation moving forward in the 2nd quarter. I think I really appreciate your answers. We have a lot of solid information right here. Moving forward, we can start to get to the bottom of this. So I thank you very much. And do you have any final questions or any concerns that I can address? All right. Hey, thank you so much for coming in. When would be a good time to meet with you next week at some point?
I have planned period 6th, so it's right after lunch. Any day really works.
Okay. Would next Friday work? Okay.
That'd be great.
All right. I'll be in contact with you. I'll send you a reminder email this week and next week so we can have a meeting during 6th period on Friday. All right. Hey, thank you so much. Have a good day.
You too.